everyone, this is G and I'm back with another video. So I hope everybody is doing well today. It's about 9:30 here in New York City. I just wanted to make a brief video, I guess as a response, I guess the best term would be, to some of the criticisms I have received on my Catradora is canon and problematic video. Now, I'm not going to, at least my attempt here is not to shame anybody, but when I think people make disingenuous arguments or ad hominems, I do respond to that. But I don't, for example, this isn't about addressing people's negative opinions of my video. You have a right to have a negative opinion of the video. I didn't make the video thinking that it was going to be well received. I understand that. I understand that I'm in the minority here when it comes to Catradora, which, believe it or not, I'm not necessarily against as an idea. I just think that Noel Stevenson and company really fumbled it, and, putting in a rushed redemption arc at the end of the show doesn't fix things. In my opinion, it actually made things worse. And I still maintain that it is toxic and problematic. Though I will amend one part. I will take back one thing. I was wrong when I said that Catra never left the Horde. That is factually untrue. I was wrong there. So I apologize for that. That's incorrect. Granted, she joined Horde Prime before she actually ended up leaving the Horde totally, but she did leave. So I will take that back. Right? I was wrong there. I admit that. I was wrong to make that statement. Right, but I just want to address some of the statements. And first, I want to be clear. Although the video has been ratioed negatively, I accept that. That's not an issue to me. You have a right to your opinion and how to express it how you want. Again, I was sort of expecting that response anyway. But I actually do want to thank the people in the comments, even those who have very strongly disagreed with me, for the most part, being incredibly respectful in their disagreement. We can respectfully disagree. So thank you guys so much, because I've had other videos where it was received negatively, and the people there, for example, the video I did about LTG and his transphobic comments toward Ceroblast, the majority of the comments there were just trolling or amounting to "you're fat," right? And the majority of people in the comment section for this video who disagreed with me actually tried to make a point, right? There was actually one comment that I did actually love, right? Despite the fact that I don't agree entirely with it, but I did that because I felt that it made a good argument. So I will say to the whole of the comments and the discussion going on in this in the Catradora video, yes, thank you very much for being respectful even in your disagreement. However, there are some comments that, yes, I'm going to respond to because they are, in my opinion, disingenuous. Right, so the first one is, and keep in mind, I've also responded to these people in the comments in the comment section for that video, so they already know what I think. But I'm just going to make a video about it because, well, it's my comment section and I'll do what I want. So the first thing is, the one is saying, I guess this is one way to seek out views. No, that's simply not the case. I understand it's going to get views, and I understand it's going to be received negatively by the Catradora fans, because Catradora was just confirmed. But I didn't make the video for views. I made the video because the topic interested me. That's why I make any video, because the topic interests me. I don't hate watch, I don't hate follow. I make videos. Sometimes the topic, at times I hit it at the right time and the topic gets a lot of views, right? I've gotten a lot of views for my Jax video that I did last year criticizing his ending in MK11. I got a lot of views for the Shiva video I did about MK Aftermath. I got a lot of views for the video, the second video, in fact, that I did about John Campia and his very sexist and degrading comments toward Ahsoka Tano. So yeah, at times I hit things well and it resonates and I get views. But I, just like any other content creator, cannot ascertain how the audience is going to respond. Sometimes I get hundreds of views. Sometimes I get 1,000. I got 1,000 views. I think I've only gotten that 3 times. The Jax video that I did, the video where I criticized LTG for his comments against Ceroblast, and the video I did about Gotham High and how the author of that book, Melissa De La Cruz, put in Japanese cultural references for a Chinese character. Those are the only 3 that I know of anyway, because I've made hundreds of videos. I've been doing this for about over a year now. Right, so those are the only videos that I know of that actually got over 1,000 views, and that's big for me. And I've noticed with other channels much larger than myself that some videos will get hundreds of thousands of views. Some only get 10,000s of views. In the end, as a creator, all you can do is just make the video and see how it responds. I have no say over that. I cannot control that. So there's that argument. Another one is from another person, and I'm not giving names because I just want to address the comment. So it says, so another comment says, I smell homophobia. This person's ruining my dream right now. That's an ad hominem person. I don't know if you're male or female, so person. That's an ad hominem. That means that you have no argument to the video. And instead, you're going to try to accuse me of some sort of social ill. Sorry, my neck is killing me trying to hold this phone. You're going to try to accuse me. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, I have a bad neck, y'all. Oh. But anyway, you're going to try to accuse me of being a social ill, right? And try to shame me because you don't agree with the video. But instead of actually addressing what I said in the video, you're just going to say that I'm homophobic. First of all, not true. I think that if I were homophobic, I would not have... First of all, I wouldn't have covered the topic at all if I were homophobic. Number 2, I would not have suggested watching Xena. And I wouldn't have said that it's a good lesbian romance if I were homophobic. And if I'm so homophobic, then why am I doing a character series, a character analysis series, which I do have to get back to, that reminds me, for Samara, who's my favorite character from the Mass Effect games, who, for all intents and purposes, is a lesbian space samurai, if I'm so homophobic. Oh, and why is one of my favorite characters from Star Trek DS9, which is my favorite Star Trek, why is one of my favorite characters Dax? You know, the Trill who's lived 7 lives, has been male and female, had the first lesbian kiss, I think, in Star Trek history, on screen. And that wasn't just like some sort of peck on the lips. That was a kiss. They're making out on screen. So tell me again how I'm homophobic. Please tell me. Let me know. Because criticizing Catradora does not make me or anybody else homophobic. It simply makes me a critic of Catradora. Nothing more, nothing less. If you're gonna come at me, especially with that type of argument, come correct, right? Ad hominems are not correct. An ad hominem means you don't have an argument. So all you can think to do is insult me. Not cool. All right. And now, probably the biggest one, right, which is that I received 2 comments saying that, sorry, there's something's going on outside. Of course, there's something going on outside. But anyway, I received 2 comments stating that my saying that Catra is predatory, right, or was predatory toward Adora, is saying that lesbians are predatory. No, I did not say that. I never said lesbians are predatory. I said Catra was, and that's true. That was made most evident in Season 1 during the Princess Prom episode, which is why I used that still image, because she was incredibly predatory in that episode, which was kind of the point. Same way Gaston being very, very predatory toward Belle when he proposes to her, right? That's the point. He's a hunter. She's the prey. He's supposed to come across as predatory, right? Saying that Catra is predatory does not mean I'm saying lesbians are predatory. They're not the same. She is not lesbian representation. That's not her role in the show. There are plenty of other lesbian characters. There's Adora. There's Scorpia's moms. There's Spinnerella and Natasha. I never said a bad word about them. Now did I? You, the two that made that argument, you're the ones who are trying to make me look bad by literally taking my words from a video that are friggin' on screen, where I said Catra was predatory on a level Gaston would be proud of, and argue that I'm saying lesbians are being predatory. No. Some lesbians are predatory, some aren't. Same way some bi people are predatory and some aren't. Same way some straight people are predatory and some aren't. Because some people are predatory and some aren't. I never said Catra was the representative of lesbians in the show. She's not. She's one character who happens to either be lesbian or is adorisexual. One or the other. Okay, so don't take what I say and try to turn it around and say that I'm saying something else. That is not true. That is incredibly disingenuous to argue that I'm saying something that I'm clearly not. Okay, so I just want to make it clear as day. I never said lesbians are predatory. You guys are the ones saying that I'm saying that. That lesbians are predatory. Maybe you should check yourself and why you believe Catra is representative of lesbians, right? Before accusing me of saying something that I didn't say. Because by your logic, right? Because I received 2 comments saying this basically. By your logic, right? Me saying that, or rather, how should I put it? Right? By your logic, that would be saying that Disney's saying all men are predatory jerks, right? Who are obsessed with women and only see them as property because Gaston is characterized that way. Or to go with Noelle Stevenson still, should I say or believe that Noelle Stevenson is saying that all women are evil because Shadow Woman is an evil woman? Should I think that because Shadow Weaver is characterized as abusive and emotionally manipulative, that Noelle Stevenson is saying women are all this way? Should I take Shadow Weaver as a representation of all women? Or what about Double Trouble, right? The duplicitous lizard in bondage gear who's supposed to be non-binary. Should I believe that because Double Trouble is a villainous character, that Noelle Stevenson is saying that all people who identify as non-binary are villainous like Double Trouble, are duplicitous and manipulative? Is that the argument you're making? Because I didn't make that argument. It would be unreasonable and unfair to say that Catra being predatory is representative of lesbians. Same way it would be wrong and unfair to say that Shadow Weaver represents all women, or that, what's his face? Or their face, I guess you could say technically. Double Trouble is villainous, or rather say that people who are non-binary are villainous just because Double Trouble is villainous. I never made that argument. You are making that argument. You are the one, or the ones in this case, who are saying that that Catra represents lesbians, right? You're the one saying that I'm saying that. I'm trying to find the exact comments so that people know. 1 second. Here we go, I found it. So here was the first one. person wrote like a point by point rebuttal, and they say here, going toward the bottom, it says here, calling lesbians predatory isn't a new or interesting thing. In the Princess Prom episode, Adora chose to dance with Catra, so I'm not sure what you mean with this point, but whatever. Yeah, again, I never said lesbians were predatory. I said Catra was, and she was in that episode. You can deny it all you like, but she was. And then there was another comment that I received, and then this person says, responding to me, because I responded to that comment, says here, you referring to me, so this person's addressing me, saying, you did imply that Catra, who has only shown interest in women, which makes her bi or at least lesbian, was predatory for dancing with Adora, so you are calling lesbians predatory. Again, no. First of all, if you really want to be that technical with it, Catra, to my knowledge, has never expressed any interest in any woman outside of Adora. It's probably better and more accurate to say that Catra is Adorasexual and Adora is Catrasexual, since I don't recall in any instance anyway where they displayed any interest or attraction to any other female that was featured in the show. Not toward Glimmer, not toward that hunter girl, the big muscular one. I'm trying to remember her name. The one that they encountered in the Crimson Waste. I forget her name. Huntara. There it goes. Huntara. I prefer the 80s look personally. That big, bulky, muscular look. It's like, how in the world are you looking that buff when you're living in the desert? But anyway. Never expressed any other attraction to any other females. But fine, I have no issue stating that they're lesbian since it's a girl-girl relationship. But again, I never said, nor did I imply, that lesbians are predatory, because Catra is. Catra does not represent lesbians in the show. She is one character who happens to be lesbian, and who happens to be a very predatory person, a toxic person, a toxic cat girl. So maybe check yourself before you try to check me. Okay? And another thing that was brought up is that I said that, or rather, but the person brings up, is that the issue of representation, right? Saying that Natasha and Spinnerella and Bo's dads finally play a part in season 5. That's great. That's wonderful. I'm happy about that. That doesn't change the fact that they were hardly used in the series as a whole, to the point where Bo could joke that Spinnerella and Natasha never are never around and never used. When the creators themselves can make an in-joke about that, that means the characters are grossly underutilized. That's not on me. That's not on me. I'm glad that they brought in Bo's dads and gave them a part, and brought in Natasha and Spinnerella and gave them a part. And I was especially glad to see Castaspella, because she was missing for pretty much all of season 4. She was in exactly one episode in season 4, the Glimmer's coronation. After that, you didn't see her again. And she could have played a huge role, because she could have balanced out, right? Because the whole thing about season 4 is, Glimmer falling into the bad side, right? Shadow Weaver manipulating her. And one of the things that drove me nuts about that season was the fact that it's like, where the hell is Casta? Why isn't Castaspella here? Glimmer is without her mother, without her father. The only parental guidance she is getting, if any, is Shadow Weaver. I'll never understand why Glimmer suddenly trusts Shadow Weaver, but whatever. Right? Casta would have been the perfect balance. She would have been the perfect balance to Shadow Weaver's influence, right? Again, since Noelle loves to reference Avatar. I'll bring it up here. Remember how Zuko had the negative male influence in his father Ozai, but then had the positive male influence in Iroh? They could have done the same thing here. Have the negative mother figure in Shadow Weaver, and have the positive surrogate mother figure in Casta Spella. And Noelle Stevenson and company did not do that. They only brought these characters in for the finale. They did not utilize them properly. Don't get mad at me, right? Because she suddenly remembered that these characters existed and threw them in really, really quick at the end. Okay? That's a flaw on her as a storyteller. It's not a flaw on me as someone who noticed it. So again, check yourself. Check yourself. I'm not the one who underutilized these characters. She is. And believe it or not, despite the fact that I am a dirty breeder, right? Dirty breeder, raging heterosexual, and very literally in this case, I guess you could say, I wanted exactly what Noelle and company promised to provide. Good representation. She didn't do it, in my estimation. Okay? In my opinion, she did not provide the positive, important, well fleshed out, developed representation that this show is supposed to lean into and be all about. Again, I got no issue with LGBTQ issues in a cartoon or same-sex love stories or anything else. For crying out loud. Again, Xena. But don't get mad at me because Noelle didn't do her job and I pointed it out in the video. Okay? There are still issues of mad love in their union at the end. Honestly, to me, from my perspective, now having looked over it over the past few days, I would actually characterize Catra's declaration of love as possible love bombing. Now, for those who don't know what love bombing is, it's actually a emotional manipulation tactic used by narcissists, right? In which that when they first meet you, they will shower you in love. They will get you presents. If you have a more adult relationship, you'll be doing a lot of adult things a lot of the time, right? It's literally just as intense showering you in love, right? And a possible interpretation of Catra's declaration of love right at the very end, right, is love bombing. That is one way you could possibly view it. Okay? Now, do I think that Noelle Stevenson was trying to show an unhealthy relationship? I don't think so. I hope not. I think she was trying to do a love redeems arc and did it poorly, right? And so it still highlights a lot of the issues that Catra has and a lot of the issues people have with that pairing. But I don't think Noelle is trying to promote unhealthy romantic relationships. But it doesn't change the fact that, yeah, even at the very end, they're still problematic, at least in my opinion. In my opinion, it's still incredibly problematic. There's still a lot of issues, in particular, mad love. Right? So there's that. It's the same thing, well, shouldn't say the same, it's similar, right, to like 50 Shades of Grey. Do I think E.L. James was trying to romanticize abuse or misrepresent the sexual subculture of BDSM? No, I don't think so. To my knowledge, 50 Shades started out as an erotic alternate universe fan fiction called Masters of the Universe or something to that effect. So I don't think that she was trying to romanticize abuse or anything. I think she was just trying to create a very sexy alternate version of Twilight. But the story that she ultimately told was one that romanticized abuse. and misrepresented BDSM. And the same thing here. Do I think that Noelle Stevenson was trying to create a bad show, or was trying to create a redemption arc that did more harm than good? At least in my opinion, no, I don't think that. But that's what ended up happening. This show's always struggled mightily with storytelling. Okay? Maybe Noelle Stevenson's niche, her thing, is to do slice of life. Not every creator is going to be good at every style of storytelling. Maybe, long drawn out series like this, action series dealing with, war and consequences and relationships and all that. Maybe that's just not her thing. Maybe she should just stick with like slice of life. I'm not saying she's a bad creator per se. I'm just saying that this was not her best work. And I'm not going to suddenly give the issues that I found in season 5, in particular, as regarding Catradora, a pass just because she tried to work in a redemption arc at the very end of the show. If you don't want me to criticize something, then, well, that thing should be done well. Okay? I won't criticize something if it's done well. Because why would I criticize it? She didn't do a good job here. You can disagree with me all you like, and that's fine. But in my opinion, she didn't do a good job. In my opinion, I could see what she was going for throughout the entire series. I can see the various tropes and what she's borrowing. She borrowed a lot from Avatar, but didn't understand how it worked. She needs to improve her storytelling and the plot and characterization and making things cohesive. That is not on me. That's on her. I will praise Noelle when she does well, and I will criticize her when she doesn't do well. For example, one of the things she was incredibly consistent with was Catra's emotional instability. I would say that she ripped that straight out from Azula's breakdown, but at least she was consistent with it. And she was consistent with Catra pushing people away, right, and being a bully. And that was what ruined all of her relationships, and people told her. Adora told her, Double Trouble told her, everybody told her. Scorpia told her. Remember when she says, "You're a bad friend"? So yes, Noelle did that part well. She was consistent in maintaining what Catra's major flaws were. I just don't think she did well in trying to change or resolve those major flaws. That's just me. You can disagree with me all you like. I don't mind that. Just don't make, at least for me, just don't make disingenuous accusations like calling me a homophobe when I'm not, or saying that I said that Catra being predatory is the same as saying lesbians are predatory. I never said that. Okay? Don't accuse me of being disingenuous or having nefarious intentions. My only intention is to make videos about stuff that I have an interest in and express my opinion. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So anyway, that's the video. I hope everybody, even my critics, are doing well. And I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.